Hey class, welcome to week 11 of BUAD 201. This week is another online week. Please keep in mind next week we do have a live week during week 12, which you will be completing an in-class writing assignment, your persuasive message. So during this week, you need to make sure to finalize the touches on your group project, which you will present in our live class in a couple of weeks, which is during week 14. So keep in mind, week 12, we are meeting in our live class, which we will have a persuasive message. Week 13 is Thanksgiving break, and then week 14 is going to be your group project. So it's important you start working on finalizing your group project now so you have a good understanding of what's going to be needed to be done for it within your group. So right now we're at week 11. We're going to review our executive summary assignment this week. Next week you have your persuasive message. And then your executive summary, which is actually going to be due on Friday on the 16th. I wanted to give you a few extra days given the fact that I really want you to concentrate on this persuasive message. Then the week after we have Thanksgiving break, and then after Thanksgiving break we meet live again to complete your group presentations in class. And remember, your group report is going to be due that day as well in class. Make sure to bring a hard copy. So finally, we're going to review the executive summary assignment for this week as well, which is, again, like I said, going to be due on Friday, November 16th at 11:55 p.m. in Titanium. Again, I've given you a few extra days to work on assignment because I really want you to focus on preparing for your in-class writing assignment. So your tasks to complete this week is watch the class video lecture, make sure to read chapters 12 and 13 in your textbook, meet with your group to start finalizing the group project, work on your APA individual report, complete the executive summary assignment, which is going to be due Friday, November 16th. And then also make sure to review your negative message assignment. It will be emailed back to you in your school account. If you do not receive it by Thursday, please notify me right away. You will need this to prepare for your persuasive message. I have been finalizing all my grading on them. There are still a couple more, actually a good handful that I need to grade, but I should have them all completed by Tuesday night. So once I am done with your assignments, they will be emailed back to you. If for some reason, again, you do not have your graded negative message assignment by Thursday, please make sure to contact me. That way I can make sure to get it back to you. Maybe I made a mistake writing your email address, or maybe there was an error where it went to your junk folder, but whatever it is, I really want you guys to have these assignments back. So items to complete before the start of week 12, make sure to complete your chapter 12 and 13 MindTap digital homework, prepare for your persuasive message, and complete the executive summary assignment, which is going to be due on Friday. So let's take a look at your executive summary assignment. First, I want to go over the assignment, and then keep in mind this is a section in your textbook that talks about how to write executive summaries. So make sure you are aware with how to write an executive summary. You should have a good idea on how to write it. So let's take a look at your actual assignment. And then we'll go over a few tips on how to write and what I'm going to be looking for. So for again, this assignment is going to be due on Friday, November 16th. So for the background, as a business student, review the CSUF library database system and select a business journal, maybe the Journal of Management, whichever one you would like to search for and select. You should have an idea how to do this from when our librarian came in and showed you how to research for your APA individual assignment. So searching the database for an article using ProQuest, EBSCOhost, or any other of your choice, select an article related to a business topic you may be interested in. The article must be at least 5 pages long and a subject of interest that you prefer. Some examples you can search are maybe you're interested in social media marketing, or finance and digital business, or accounting in the digital age, or anything else that really interests you. I'd like you to pick something that is in regards to your major, so that way you could keep it on parallel with what you're studying at this university. So purpose. To understand the purpose and structure of an executive summary, to be able to analyze, interpret, and summarize relevant information in a formal report, and to develop writing skills necessary in a formal report. So remember, your executive summary, it's only 1 page long. Think of it like an abstract to a report. This executive summary is going to give the reader an idea of what is in the business report. For example, when I used to have to create the quarterly marketing reports, which were about 200 to 300 pages long for the .com I worked for, at the beginning of the report, I would have a 1 page executive summary, which again serves like an abstract. And this executive summary would discuss what was in the report. And it's all done in 1 page. So you're going to assume a role of an assistant to an executive or manager and be able to provide summarizations of a formal report, kind of like what I had to do in my position. Students will learn how to analyze, interpret, and summarize formal reports to their direct supervisor in concise and tactful executive summary. So your guidelines: your current executive summary may not exceed 1 page. You do not turn in your article that you choose. So the article that you found, you are not going to turn that in. You're only going to turn in your 1 page executive summary. Your executive summaries are standalone reports. They should make complete sense without references to any outside sources, including the original source. Executive summaries do not contain quotations, references, or examples. They merely present the key concepts of the argument made in the original source. Executive summaries are flawless. They impress by presenting no visual conceptual barriers in the document. So you need to have perfect grammar, perfect spelling, perfect sentence structure. Everything needs to be organized very, what's the word I'm looking for? It needs to be organized in a way where it's very easy to read and very appealing to the eye. Format: use your own words. Do not copy text from the article. Do not write a memo or letter. Center a heading at the top that just says executive summary, and in the left or right hand margin, write in your name and date. Use 1-inch margins with size 11 or 12 serif type fonts. Single space and leave one blank between paragraphs. Spell check and proofread your work, and make sure to write in third person. You're going to be graded on the usual class rubric: how well you address the topic, how literate your document is, and how aware you are of the audience, which strategies you employ to reach the reader, and what kind of tone you adopt at the end. So that is your executive summary assignment that is going to be due on Friday, November 16th at 11:55 p.m. And I've also included a document here which gives you some tips on writing an executive summary. So make sure to review this document as well. So remember, your contents of an executive summary, you're going to include a purpose, what the report, article, book does. This report examines this, or this author examines this. You're only going to discuss essential points and the conclusion results of what that article came about. You want to leave out your opinion, any external data, so you don't need to have any references. Any kind of points irrelevant to the central argument. Make sure to leave all this stuff out. So here's a good process of writing a summary. Read the material and highlight the main points in the article that you found. Watch for keywords and highlight any kind of keywords you think would be necessary. Watch for words that indicate main points. So maybe there's somewhere in your article where it is going to discuss certain steps, where they say first, second, or initially, or next. These are going to be points that you're probably going to need to use in your executive summary. Words that express causation, such as maybe accordingly or as a result, these are going to be key contributors. Watch for words that indicate non-essentials. So maybe the author discusses an opinion, such as I think, I believe, or in my opinion. Leave that information out of your executive summary. Organize your information into a draft summary. Read through the draft and delete what is unnecessary. Be sure you have included the results, conclusions, and main ideas in your executive summary. Don't piece your summary together from thinly disguised quotations from the text. In other words, don't copy. Rather, your summary needs to read smoothly and sentences should be logically connected. Do not use quotations. Even those enclosing quotation marks in your summary need to be paraphrased. You need to put the edited version of the summary in your own words if the author is someone other than you. So again, make sure to write it in your own words, and that is going to be your executive summary assignment. So please keep that in mind. This is going to be due on Friday, November 16th by 11:55 p.m. So next, what I would like to talk about is your negative message assignment that you're going to be receiving back as an email. I'd like to discuss the certain key points and certain items and things that I was looking for your negative message. So for your negative message, it was in a letter format, and you were responding back to a client who was complaining about not having, complaining about having to pay $750 back for damage that they did to an SUV. So in this situation, you had a client who was renting with Avis, and they assumed that their credit card was going to be able to cover their rental insurance, but they did not know that it had excluded SUVs. That is not the responsibility of Avis at all. So that is actually the responsibility of the client. The client needs to know what insurance they have and what will work. So this is why the Avis representative was telling them, hey, if you want, you can purchase our insurance. You don't have to worry about anything at all. So the insurance agent wasn't really upselling them. That's just how the person felt after, because now they found out that they have to pay $750. So what I want to do is I kind of want to go over the letter to show you what I was looking for and what was the best way of implementing certain strategies when you are writing this indirect message. Now keep in mind, this message needed to be indirect. I did not want you to write it in a direct way, meaning you needed to build up credibility before you gave the bad news. So for example, with the letter, you would have the recipient's address, so name, address. Let me view this as a page. So name, address, city, state, zip, then your date, and then you may have your subject line here, and then dear, Mr. We'll just call Mr. So-and-so. So in this case, your subject line needed to be a little bit specific, telling the reader what this was about. So you wanted to stay away from generic things such as Avis rental car or rental car experience follow-up. You want to be a little bit more specific. So maybe in the sense you could write Avis rental car follow-up, Avis rental car follow-up for damaged claim, and then you can make it up if you'd like, claim number, whatever you want to do, but something that's a little bit more specific so they understand what this is for. And then you can even put the city as well where it happened, so they have a good understanding of what this is going to be about. So then when you're writing to a person in this case, you want to let them understand that you received their complaint. Thank you for contacting us. So you want to write something along those like, thank you for contacting us. We appreciate you getting a hold of us, and then so on and so on. And then you want to, in this paragraph as well, let them know we received your claim regarding the damage to the Audi SUV vehicle. So now you've kind of told this person, hey, we've received, thanks for contacting us. We've received your claim. Now what you want to do is, before you tell them that you can't refund them the money, you need to build a credibility to give them the bad news. If you tell them right away, unfortunately, we can't refund your money, well, there's two things wrong with that. One, unfortunately is a negative word. You want to stay away from words that lead to negative meanings. Two, you don't want to tell them right away, we can't refund your claim, because now they're going to read the rest of the letter in an angry sense, in an angry tone, or they may not even read it at all. So what you want to do first is, now you kind of want to reiterate the situation of what happened and explain here. So explain here what happened. And this can be, we understand there are a few things you want to put in this paragraph. One, you want to put something in this paragraph. I'll stay away from bullet points, but you want to put the first thing, we understand that you spoke with our counter agent, and pretty much say they were only doing their job. They offered you insurance because we recommend you get insurance through us in case something does happen. So we understand you spoke with our counter agent and they offered you insurance. And explain that this is Avis protocol. something along the lines that says this is something that our agents are trained to do. Then you want to talk about how being upgraded is a premium or a positive experience, meaning that you're getting a bigger car for a cheaper price than what we would have paid. So not only did the Avis agent offer you insurance, but you're also getting an opportunity to go into a bigger car. And then say our policy states, or something along the lines as, we are not responsible for looking into every credit card's car insurance. That is a responsibility of the client. So our policy states that we offer insurance, and if it is declined, the customer is responsible. So this way now the renter can see that, hey, you know what? They did what they were supposed to do. I was offered a bigger car at a premium price, and their policy states I need to have car rental insurance. That's not my responsibility. So now here, you've built credibility in this entire explanation. And now you can go ahead and move on to the news of telling them that we're not going to be able to cover the expenses and you're going to be responsible. And you need to make sure to state that. So this is where you would tell them, at this point, given our policy, we will not be able to cover the damage to the SUV, and move on to say that this is not our responsibility, which is what you've stated here. You know, it's not our responsibility to know every credit card car insurance. It's only our responsibility to offer it to you. So you need to tell them that you're not going to damage, you're not going to cover the damage to the SUV. And then transition, we would like to keep our relationship for car rental services. So we would like to offer you a free 2-day rental, so on and so on. You know, how are they going to claim it? What do they need to do to receive it? So now all of a sudden, make sure you bold this out or underline it or do something where it stands out. So now you've built credibility. You've told the renter, hey, this is not our responsibility. Avis is not at fault here. This is something where it's your fault, but we're still giving you a free 2-day car rental experience. They're going to be happy with that, because now where you've built this credibility and you've explained why you're not giving them that information, why you're not reimbursing them, and you're also giving them a free 2-day rental, they've come away with a win. Then you could write your close off. You know, we appreciate you having us as your car rental service provider, and we look forward to doing business with you in the future. Whoops. And then you could put best regards, you know, your name, Avis Car Rental Service Manager. And that's it. So remember, in this sense, you're not going to put any contact information down here because it's a negative message. Since this is not the company's fault, you don't want him calling you back and saying, well, you know what, I would like 4 days, or you know what, I would like 3 days, I would like more. So again, please keep that in mind. You do not want them contacting you in a negative message. Whereas in your first message you wrote, the direct message, you needed your contact information because they could contact you. But in this case, you want to send a letter back. You want them to have an understanding of why they were denied their claim. You built your credibility. You used the indirect approach. You told them we cannot pay for the damages. It's your responsibility. And then you also offered them something plus at the end, which was a 2 free car day rental. They should be more than happy, and there should be no reason for them to call you back. This is a finalized decision, and they move forward with their lives. So keep that in mind. when you are writing your message, and keep in mind that next week you do have your persuasive message, make sure you have a good understanding of the AIDA strategy when you are writing your persuasive message, because you're going to need to use the AIDA strategy in this approach, which is the AIDA: attention, interest, desire, and action. Understand whether you're not in a persuasive message, am I going to use the direct approach? Am I going to use the indirect approach? What is it that I'm going to have to do? So please make sure you have a good understanding and you are well prepared for your persuasive message. It will be either in a letter, memo, or email format, so it is up to you to know all of them. I wish you guys all the best of luck, and remember, if you do not receive your negative message assignment by Thursday, please notify me so we can figure out what went wrong, but you will receive this assignment by Tuesday evening by email. Please make sure to review it, and again, I wish you guys all the best of luck.